Hi, my name's Karen Few. I'm the First Nations Health Access Officer here on Darkinjung land on the Central Coast. Welcome to the session of Asking the Question for our Quality Improvement Program. I would like to recognise and celebrate the diversity of First Nations culture and acknowledge and pay my respects to the elders past, present and future as the traditional caretakers of the lands, water and sea we are working on today. And any First Nations participants joining the webinar today. I will now start our presentation. Meeting our team. So this is our First Nations team. We have our manager, an engagement officer for the Hunter New England and Central Coast. We have our First Nations project officer, and we have 3 First Nations health access officers here within our footprint. So the learning outcomes for today. We're hoping the information assists and builds awareness and confidence when engaging with First Nations patients. So when asking the question, helps the delivery and evaluation of services to be more responsive to the needs of First Nations people. And a simple question is, where's your mob from? And do you know this aunt or an uncle that's already registered within the practice? So the best way to ask the question is to include this in written patient information form in the section that asks for cultural background. Not everyone may feel comfortable disclosing their First Nations origin for a range of reasons. By asking the question, are you or is this person of First Nations origin? Disclosing to others their cultural identity can be both complex and personal. This also comes from individual or past family experiences. Sometimes it may be important for health practitioners to ask this question verbally or during an intake discussion with the patient if it is noted that the written question has not been responded to. There is nothing discriminatory about asking the question for First Nations origin. It's the same as asking the question of their age, sex or country of birth. The question is always asked of parents or carers of children as family as well. Members and friends of accompanying a person who requires treatment but cannot answer for themselves at this time. So there's barriers. There is a need to be sensitive and understanding that for some individuals that have been affected by family dislocation and separation, disclosing First Nations origin is difficult, particularly if there is not an established trust in the relationship. Some First Nations feel shame discussing their health needs to non-First Nations people. Be mindful that not all patients will want to identify at the front counter in earshot of others in the waiting room. This is why it's important that the GP and nurses and health workers know how to ask the question if it has not been captured at the front desk. Disclose to others about their cultural identity can be both complex and personal. If the patient does identify at reception, you just need to make sure that you're asking if they know about the 715 health assessment and provide a brochure or tell them to have a chat with their GP or nurse on how they can be supported. I'm now going to play a video.
Hi, I'm Naomi and I'm a Kurnai woman.
Hi, I'm Jackie and I'm a Gunditjmara woman.
Why is asking the question so important? This video will tell you and help everyone feel comfortable about asking somebody else. Are you of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent?
The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community is a diverse one. Aboriginality isn't about the colour of a person's skin, so people's perceptions of what an Aboriginal person is sometimes clouds their decisions about asking the question.
We're going to show you some scenarios about asking the question.
It's important to remember that it is a compulsory question to ask, but not a compulsory question to answer. It's making sure you're prepared for all the responses you might get from the person.
And don't be afraid to ask or feel uncomfortable. It's a question that everyone gets asked.
Good morning, how can I help you?
Hey, I'd like to see a doctor.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have far worse health outcomes than the broader community, especially in areas such as diabetes, cancer, infant mortality and morbidity. Life expectancy is a gap for both Aboriginal men and women.
Have you been here before? Could you please fill out this form? I'm sorry, you missed one question. Are you Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander?
Why do you want to know that?
We need to ask everyone a lot of questions to make sure they get the right service.
Oh yes, I do identify as Aboriginal.
Sometimes reception staff get negative responses. People might say, "Why do you want to know?" or "What's that got to do with you?" If this happens, twist the answer around and say, "We're asking everyone the same question and also acknowledging the closing the gap policy. We won't know who is Aboriginal unless we actually ask the question."
Remember, it's important to be confident and matter of fact. Keep it simple.
By the way, who's going to see this information?
Everything is strictly confidential. It's important we get all your information correctly so we can plan your healthcare.
What you shouldn't say is that it's for our statistics, for budget programming, or that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people get more resources and funding than non-Aboriginal people.
An Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person might not trust why you are asking the question. That's because of historical reasons. There is often a stigma attached to identifying as Aboriginal, and some people choose not to identify.
It's up to you to be aware of some of those historical reasons. Remember, by asking everyone the question, you're making it normal.
Good morning, how can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to see a doctor, thank you.
Certainly, just fill out this form. I'm sorry, you missed one question. Are you Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander?
I didn't answer because I thought it was pretty obvious if you look at me.
It's important we get all your information correctly so we can plan your healthcare.
Never presume that you know the answer to the question, because the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community is so diverse.
There are right ways and wrong ways to ask the question. Remember, your job is to ask the question confidently to everyone and never question the answer.
So why is patient ethnicity important? There are specific programs for First Nations people that address their needs and help to manage their chronic diseases. It also provides patients with the understanding of their health and what they can do to prevent chronic diseases. If you do not know if your patients are First Nations, you cannot register them for the PIP-IHI, and so your patients are missing out on affordable scripts and better health care for any further investigations or preventative measures that can be put in place. Why should they identify? Well, you ensure appropriate health care by providing information that helps to plan and design services according to the patient's needs, as well as narrowing the healthcare gap to improve health outcomes for First Nations people, in helping to better understand which services will provide the best outcomes. Right information from the right people, giving First Nations patients the right tools to understand their health needs and to access appropriate care. So that would be the benefits. The benefits to the patients is the culprit appropriate health care and understanding their health needs, and that they're supported through their health journey, and empowering patients to take steps towards better health, and a team approach from all primary healthcare providers. After today's session, we'd be grateful if you could fill out the survey and send it back to us so we can see if we need to improve on anything within the presentation. Thank you from the First Nations Health Access team. If you'd like to visit our website, which we have fact sheets and printable materials and videos that can help as well with the practice in supporting First Nations patients. Thank you for being involved in the Quality Improvement Program.